Hello YouTube, RJ. Hey, today I want to talk about this little jewel. This is the $6 logic analyzer that I bought off of AliExpress. I got in one of my unboxings earlier. And I've had time to try it out, and I want to talk about it, give it a little review. And once I'm done with the review, even more so, I want to walk you through installing the software and getting this thing to work, because the only negative I'm going to really have is that it comes with no software, comes with no instructions, just leaves you in the dark. You have to figure out where to get software to run it and all that. And I'm going to walk you through that, make it easy for you if you decide you want to get one of these, or you have and you haven't figured out how to get it going. My review is very good, actually. I know a lot of times people think, well, I keep telling you this junk is good. It's not that I've never used these types of devices to have a comparison. You know, I got a comment one time that I just don't know what a good one is because I've never had a good one of this or that. Not about this, but about other things. So let me explain that I've worked with a lot of logic analyzers. In fact, this is the last one I had on the bench. Bought this many years ago. And at the time, it was quite the hot commodity. Let you get a decent look at it. It's called a Bitscope. It was a USB driven, which if anyone knows about doing this kind of work, USB driven is great because it had USB isolation in it. So everything was isolated. So that was great. You didn't have to worry about any ground loops. You didn't have to worry about common mode rejection issues and such. This thing was impressive. It gave you two scopes, actual oscilloscope, analog oscilloscope, and it gave you a full logic analyzer, and it worked very well. I used it for many years, did a lot of projects, microcontroller projects, some of them that I developed for businesses. They're still being used today. Neat little device. You might be wondering, why aren't you using it anymore? Well, the company stopped supporting it, kind of went kaput, and then provided no updates. And as the operating systems for the computers went along, the drivers no longer would work. And so we were kind of abandoned after a number of years, and there was no way to make them work correctly, at least not reasonably. So anyway, basing on this, using this as a comparison, as opposed to a many $1,000 logic analyzer, using this, which by the way wasn't cheap. This at the time when I bought it, I remember very clear, it was $199. Today that's probably $500, to give you an idea how the expensive this was. So this was in today's numbers, probably about $500 scope, and worked well. This is $6. So when I do these reviews, I take into consideration the cost and everything. But I'm going to tell you, this little thing, from the strictly digital logic analyzer, because that's all it does, compared to this is great. This works every bit as good as this did. Technology has come so far. Compact, low power requirement. This thing had to have a AC/DC power supply to run it, along with being plugged into USB. Runs off your USB. This thing works really well, and I'm going to show you when we get it running. I'll demo, show you how the software works, and show you how it works. Now, the software for this was probably a little more featureful. It had more features, but not that much. This is not bad at all. So anyway, what you get is you get the little device, you get the USB cable, and then you get a bunch of these connectors to plug in to get the different channels that you want to hook onto your board. So this is what you get for $6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over the computer. Before I bring you on over there, I'm going to remove all the software for this. And I'm going to walk you through finding it, downloading it. I'll give you links to where to find it and download it in the description of this video. And we'll walk through installing it and configuring it and getting this working. We'll plug it on the bench over here. We'll put a signal into it. We'll go over and we'll watch it on the computer. Okay, once you are ready to go to Saley.com, downloads. I'll put the link in the description of the video. And then I'm Windows. I'm going to do here. You've got downloads for Linux and Mac OS too, but we're going to do Windows. We're on my Windows computer. So I'm going to click download. It's going to download it. And I'm going to open the installer, and I'm going to go ahead and say next. Let it install where it wants to. It may ask us to install a driver. It may not, because I had this installed already. But if it asks you to install a driver, let it install their driver. And then we're going to launch it. And I'm going to minimize this down and bring the program over where you can see it off the other screen where it popped up. And you get this. This is what you get. What I end up doing is closing it. I'm going to go plug in my unit. Make sure your unit's not plugged in when you install this. I'm going to go plug in my analyzer, my little cheap analyzer on the bench. I'll be right back, and we'll try this. Okay, so now that we're back, we're going to open up the Saley Logic 2.4.40 is the version currently. I'm going to click on it. It's going to open up, and there. See how it went on through? That's because it connected to my logic. And so we have our channels down through here, 0 through 7, as you can see. You've got lots of configuration you can do. Your caption. I can't get into everything about this because it was pretty good. I think when I said my old logic analyzer probably had more. I'm not sure, because when I really started looking at this, here's your protocol. Let's slow this down a little. 16 million samples a second is probably all that little cheap unit could do, I would imagine. But this is your device setting. So we slowed this down a little because you'll have, at least with mine over on the bench, through about 30 foot of cabling and a USB hub. If I try to go 24 million, I get errors. I mean, you can try, it might work fine on yours. I know the device supposedly can do it, but that's probably plugged right into the computer. I'm probably having an issue with cable length and going through hubs and such. But if you go to Analyzer over here, you can choose, like, say I want to connect to a SPI, to a SPI bus. I can set it all up, which channel is my MOSI, which one's my MISO, what clock, what the enable is. Set it all up to match my SPI, and I can actually monitor my SPI, and it'll actually give me data over here. It'll show me what's going across. For right now, what I've done is I've took my signal generator and put 2 channels into channel 1, or channel 0 and 1. The first one is just I think it's a 5 megahertz pulse, 50% duty cycle. So it looks like a clock, basically. And then for 1, I had it generate noise. So we should just see random bits. So we go do a capture now and do start capture. There you go, we're capturing. We can go up here and stop at any time. We can zoom out, we can zoom in. You can see it works really well. Here's my pulse. Here's my random noise. So it's just generating random information. As you can see, this thing works. I'm rolling with my mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Works very, very well. This is the version I'm on. I'm up to date. You've got markers. If you want to use a marker pair to measure stuff, you can go in here and click. And get measurements. Really neat. I mean, it would take me a while to go through this, and you can change the font sizes and such. You can save the captures. You can export it as raw data. You can take screenshots, do measurements, timing markers, which that's what I just did. Now here's my reading. That's where you see the reading at. Here's extensions. You can add different things to it. Like if you want to measure RMS voltage using this, you can actually put these plugins in. There's a whole bunch of plugins, as you can see, to do different things. If you want to sniff CAN buses, it'll add that as protocol. Very, very impressive. So as you can see, you may be buying a $6 protocol analyzer, but wow. Let's try 24 meg one more time and just see how that goes. Yeah. See an error occurred. Try lowering the speed. I'm pretty sure that's because I run all the way around the lab to the bench to USB hub that has a whole bunch of cameras and equipment on it. So I'm sure that's what it is. It seems to work fine if I do 16. Down here showing me my memory. It's showing how much memory it's using up. So this is how fast you're using memory doing this. And you can see if I zoom out, I'm gathering a lot of data. That's 20 seconds of data I've collected. I hope this shows you this is pretty easy. Like I said, load the software. The trick's finding the software, figuring out what software you needed. And as you can see, I'm scrolling with my mouse wheel on my mouse. You pan around. You can pan around with your hand like this. You can point at areas and zoom in on it or zoom out. All your data's up here. Your measurements. I mean, this thing is bee's knees as far as I'm concerned. This is great, man. I paid about $500 worth for the one I had before, and I'm telling you right now, this is every bit as good. You can set up for it to do looping for so long. You can have it time and do a certain amount of time. You can have triggers that set it off. You can set the memory buffer how much you want here. Fascinating how good it can be, really. So, hey, I hope this is a little bit enlightening. Hopefully you learned a little something here. I hope this helps you end up with a nice logic analyzer for your lab. But most of all, I hope to see you in my next video.